Here we are, guys. Welcome back to the Escape 95 Club. Welcome back to another episode here in the club about affiliate marketing. We already talked about this in the past, but today we're going to talk about affiliate marketing with an expert. So we have here an expert. We have Jamie Gardner to talk about affiliate marketing. Welcome, Jamie. Nice to have you here on the show.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate you asking me to be part of this. And yeah, it's an honor. My sincere apologies for the slight tardiness on my behalf, but we made it here. That's the main thing.
Technology. It
I
never
know.
works when you need it. It's always like this.
This is it's sort of a running joke between myself and a couple of my associates that, in spite of the fact we run an online business, we're not really that tech savvy. So it's kind of a running joke. But anyway, there you go.
That's true. That's true. Well, good that you're here. So we're ready to start a conversation with you. I want to say to everyone watching right now, before we start talking about affiliate marketing and selling high ticket products, that guys, you can ask questions whenever you want. We're going live on different places, on Facebook, on YouTube, we're everywhere. But I will try to keep an eye to all the different streams. And if there is a question for Jamie, I will pay notice. I will take the question and I will ask the question to Jamie. So feel free to ask anything. I will take a look at the chat. Anyway, Jamie, tell us a little about yourself for the people who may not know you. Why are
Awesome.
you an expert and how did you become an expert about affiliate marketing?
It feels funny to consider yourself an expert in anything, I think. But anyway, I'll give you the I'll try to keep the overview of me a little bit brief because otherwise everyone will get bored. But hi, my name's Jamie Gardner. Thank you for joining us here. Real quick backstory. I basically 1996. Pull up a chair, everyone. Let's go back to my history when I was a young man. 1996. I was still in high school, and my mum set up an e-commerce store. Basically before Amazon, before Google, pretty much just taught herself to code, and then created this e-commerce store, which she later sold in 2021. And so I was very inspired by her lifestyle growing up. She managed to semi-retire at a pretty young age, and many years later, 2011, when I started looking into affiliate marketing, I thought there's a bit of a disconnect here. Here I am. I was working in the financial markets at the time, a pretty stressful role, dealing with a product called derivatives. So it was pretty full on. And at the time, I was looking at her lifestyle. She was traveling all around the world, doing all this stuff, and here I am, just stuck in the corporate office, just grinding it out for someone else. So I thought there's something wrong here. There's something wrong with this picture. So that's what got me into affiliate marketing. I thought, how can I transfer the skills that I was using in my day job, which was related to the trading in financial markets? And so I started setting up blogs, and then kind of didn't really go anywhere with that. So then got into CPA marketing. And then I thought, well, it's in my roots to get into e-commerce. I started setting up e-commerce stores. That was in sort of 2015. Unfortunately, had some financial setbacks, went bankrupt 2015. And later ended up leaving the workforce 2017. I started with all the skills that I built from running ads for e-commerce stores. I had enough skills to then do lead generation for small business. So started my own digital agency in 2017 and made life very hard for myself. I only had one client when I left work. And then later I kind of struggled for many years, and then tried a whole bunch of stuff, Kindle and Amazon FBA, and like I say, CPA marketing, running ads on every conceivable network and setting up a network of blogs and all sorts of SEO. So you name it, I've tried everything. And later in 2018, I finally started to get some success in my agency, and I was working on behalf of another agency that was doing white labeling for them and running all their Facebook ads. And so end of 2018 comes, I've been working my butt off for the entire year, and I was due for this big check just prior to Christmas, and it never came. And I basically brought all the marketing in-house. I thought, okay, well, that's fair enough. It's this is just business. Wasn't offended by any stretch of the imagination. But then they said, oh, we can't actually afford to pay our creditors. I thought, okay, well, that sucks. And what that led me to do is go, okay, well, how can I be in a situation where I have some degree of control over my income? And so I turned back to what I've been doing in the background anyway, which was affiliate marketing. And I started doing something called launch jacking for low ticket products. And then what I kind of hadn't really considered for many years is that I'd actually been selling stuff in my corporate role for many years, and I had sold millions of dollars worth of trading products and insurance and real estate stuff, and you name it, I sold a bunch of stuff, and for some reason it never dawned on me that I could just bring that skill online, and here I was just trying to do all this complex stuff that realistically was actually no reason. And then later in 2019, I actually met what would later become a very good friend of mine and mentor, and he sort of took me under his wing late 2019. And we basically kicked off something called the Super Affiliate Accelerator. This is with Jacob Karras, who's my friend and mentor, and another gentleman by the name of Chris Donnelly. And within about 14 months, we had hit $1 million in revenue through that funnel. We've got an award from ClickFunnels for clocking through that. And unfortunately, I normally have it on my wall behind me, but I went away for a week, and my wife decided to put up all this Christmas stuff instead. So unfortunately, I've got no awards sitting there to prove my claim.
We trust you. We trust you with that.
Yeah, sure it happened, Jamie. Sure you did. And so that's pretty much it. And then from that initial sort of starting point, late 2019, when we kicked off SAA, I went from floundering around. I was just doing all sorts of stuff to then within about 7 days, I had my first $1,000 day. And then I thought, wow, that was pretty incredible. It was a life-changing moment for me, probably the wealthiest I've ever felt, to be perfectly honest. And it turns out it wasn't a fluke. I actually did the same thing the next day, and then that led to my first 10K month, and then things have sort of blown up in my business since, and sort of transitioned in the last year or so. And now I am still a high ticket affiliate, but I also have my own coaching program as well. So that's kind of where things have gone and how things have rolled out. So anyway, I tried to keep that as brief as I could. Hopefully I didn't lose too many people in the crowd there.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Pretty impressive, especially for people who don't know anything about affiliate marketing. I think people are thinking, what are you talking about? Like, how did you do that? Like, I don't even know what affiliate marketing is. So let's take it from the basics. Let's talk about affiliate marketing, what it is, and then we will get into the technique, everything you do. So I want to just make everything super clear for everyone. So anyone who wants to start making money with affiliate marketing, they know exactly what to do. So let's start with basics, what affiliate marketing is.
Awesome. Okay, so the way that I always explain it to people that are new to this, it's kind of like when you go to, perhaps you're looking at buying a new car, and you would go to a car dealership, and the car dealer, the person that you're dealing with, doesn't necessarily need to own the vehicles to be able to sell them and then receive a commission for doing so. Similar to perhaps a real estate agent, and I understand that different parts of the world things are done pretty different, but in Australia, for example, we have a listing agent. They will list a property and then they sell that on behalf of the vendor. They receive a commission for doing so. Affiliate marketing is pretty much the same thing, except you do it online, and instead of, having to necessarily meet people on a physical basis, you are able to send your affiliate link to someone, and that link is basically got something called a cookie on it, and that is a small piece of code which tracks whether or not you end up buying through that link. And then if you do, then you as the affiliate marketer receive a commission for doing so. There are a range of different products. What I specialize in, what I normally suggest to people to get involved in is digital products. And these are things like software or courses or coaching programs, things like that are all done online. You can also promote physical products. So things like from Amazon. In fact, Amazon's actually the largest affiliate network in the world. They produce billions of dollars, as I'm sure everyone is aware of, and they are the largest affiliate network in the world. So yeah, that's kind of affiliate marketing. There is a range of different products. What I specialize in is what we call high ticket affiliate products. And to give you an example, that would be something where, normally speaking, and there's different kind of metrics of measuring this, but it's usually something that would be $500 and above. And as an affiliate, you would receive obviously a higher commission for promoting that product. The commissions start from, I've seen some that are like 0.5%, and I've seen them go all the way up to 100%. And people might be questioning that, going, why would anyone give away 100%? How does the actual vendor make money? And normally what it is, it's basically the vendor of a product, they will give away 100% of a low ticket offer, and that would be something like $7 or whatever. And that is just to attract a buyer. And then as that buyer goes through that process, they sometimes buy other things, and that is how the vendor is often remunerated. Low ticket is also great. That is something that would be traditionally sort of, I would normally say that's $100 and under. The benefits are it usually converts on a pretty high level. It's pretty easy to get sales, or easier, I should say. Now, none of this is easy. Just strike that from the record. None of it's easy. But the problem is that for most of us, we don't have a large audience, and unless you're able to find a way to get a large audience, it's hard to make significant income with low ticket products. Which is why I specialize in high ticket, which means that, for example, if you're aiming to make a couple of $1,000s per month, realistically, you only need a few sales, where you're making a $1,000 commission, for example. The other, I guess, thing that often people consider is they want passive income. A couple of things. One is you can't have passive income without active income first, and don't let anyone tell you differently. And the other part of it is if you're looking at promoting things that are based on a membership, for example, that could be like a software or some sort of perhaps a membership platform, for argument's sake. The dream is often, okay, well, I'll sell one unit of this and then I'll just get passive income forever. The problem is that the attrition rate is often very high, the natural sort of inflation. And so therefore people tend to drop off from these things relatively quickly, meaning that your what we call LTV, your lifetime customer value, is usually a lot smaller, which again is why I often suggest to people to start with high ticket affiliate marketing. So hopefully that gives a little bit of an overview. Hopefully that's clear enough as well. I haven't had to explain that.
I think so. Absolutely great. Absolutely clear. Now that you were talking, I was thinking about a lot of questions. I would try to keep my questions at a reasonable number, but something that I was thinking while you were talking. Okay, first of all, I guess that everyone understood that is about like promoting somebody else's products and services. That's what you do in exchange of a percentage of the purchase. So it's just reselling something that is yours, but it's from somebody else, and you just get a cut on every purchase. You were talking about high ticket products, low ticket products, and you were talking as well about cookies. So without making it too complicated for the people that are not that familiar with affiliate marketing, what kind of products should you promote? Like if you should use a range of products, digital products, what kind of characteristics your product should have in order to be picked by you and promoted it?
That's an amazing question. Good question. So it's, I don't want to sound like I'm fobbing this question off, but it really comes down to the individual. Because if you are using some sort of product, and it doesn't matter if it's physical or digital realistically, but if you are using some sort of product and you believe in it, you think that this is going to help other people out, could be a course on anything. There's, you name it, there's courses on absolutely everything these days. So let's say it's dog training and you've had success training your dog with this particular system, this particular course. In that case, if you believe in the product, then of course you feel that you've got results from it, then you're going to be able to, I guess, easily recommend that to people. It's not going to feel like there's not like an equal exchange when you're able to promote something that you believe in. And so that's kind of how I go with things. I guess where my specialty is I've obviously got my own programs and affiliate for other programs that are in the high ticket range. And again, for me, it comes down to things that I believe in. If I go through something, and even if I've invested in it, and I go through a course, and I don't feel that it's something that is going to tick all the boxes for people, then I just don't promote that to the same degree. So that's kind of how I take and what I suggest to folks how to follow through, because it's if you don't believe in something, it's going to be very hard to sell, because your code of ethics is going to kick in. You're going to be like, I don't feel good about selling this. So that's my take on things.
Of course. And where can you find those products? Like, are you looking for products that you use, or do you go on affiliate marketplaces to find those products? You can sign up as an affiliate. How do you find them?
Yeah, so it's a little bit easier than you might think, because if there's any, and feel free to throw it in the comments, is there any particular software anyone uses here? If there is, feel free to throw it in the comments. What I'd suggest is, if you scroll right down to the very bottom of the page, there'll be something there that either says affiliates or partners or something to that degree. Associates is another one, and therefore, if they do have an affiliate product, affiliate offer, then by all means, feel free to sign up for it. They often will pay anywhere, like I say, between lowest I've seen is about 0.5% for usually physical products, but normally for digital products, you're looking at a larger clip, anywhere from sort of 20%, typically around sort of 40 to 50%, normally speaking. You can go on to ClickBank, see someone that's mentioned that there. ClickBank is a marketplace for courses and softwares and different products, and you can obviously purchase things from there if you choose to. It's also a marketplace, but you can become an affiliate for a lot of products there as well. Or just ask. I can send you whatever you want. Understand that I'm an affiliate as well, of course. But having said that, it really depends on what you're wanting to achieve and I guess what you're wanting to promote as well. So ClickBank. You also got other platforms such as there's private networks. There's like shareasale.com. That's typically for physical products. What else have you got? Things like Commission Junction. Again, that's typically for physical products.
Yes.
ClickBank is a range. They do have both physical and digital products there as well. And sometimes it just takes a bit of Googling as well. A bit of research.
Yeah. And sometimes I think that you just need to take a look at what you're already using. Like, to give you like a super simple example, right now to do this live and go live on different platforms, I'm using a product called Restream. I'm pretty sure that many of you are familiar with this product. It's a software or it's a web app that allows you to go streaming, to go live on different platforms like YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and so on. So since I use it and I love it and it has a great user experience and it makes my work really simple, I became an affiliate for this product. So I promote it. I think that first you have to start with what you use, you understand, and that's exactly what you can suggest to your audience because you already know everything about this product. Otherwise, maybe if you sign up for a product you never used, like you get on ClickBank and you sign up for a product you never used, what if these people who should buy from you ask you a question about this product? You don't know anything. So how can you reply to those questions? So maybe it makes sense to start with products that you're using right now because you just do a list, become an affiliate for them, and just promote them.
Yes, 100%. And you'd be surprised at how many products you use, softwares and different things where you kind of just have to do a little bit of research. You'll find that they do have an affiliate offer or a partner program or whatever they call it. And it's something that can, if you have any level of audience or even if you're just referring it to friends and family, whatever, if you believe in it, if it's something that you feel that other people would use, then it's actually pretty simple just to refer folks through to that and obviously receive the commission. Another thing I didn't mention, and not sure if this was sort of obvious or not, but it doesn't impact the price at all. Like if I'm an affiliate or anyone else is an affiliate, it doesn't impact the price. Not like there's an additional clip added onto the price or anything like that. It's just basically, just the standard pricing. Just that commission gets paid to you as the referrer of that business.
Absolutely. Is there anything that stops you from promoting a product? Like, for example, do you promote mainly recurring payment products because you make a purchase once and then you get the recurring commission, or do you promote just products that have a specific price? Is there something that stops you? Like you see a product, you want to promote it, but then you think, no, maybe I shouldn't be an affiliate for this product. Is there something that you would avoid?
So a couple of things. I guess firstly, there are sometimes restrictions from product vendors. They might not need to see a certain level of experience before they will allow people to promote their products. That is quite commonplace, and that's because they need to protect the integrity of the actual brand itself.
Right.
And so they need to have to see that there is actually a track record there. That's not always the case because obviously someone has to get a start somewhere. They just need to know that, like, how you're going to promote it, things like that. So usually, if you're just up front, just saying, "Hey, I'm brand new. I'm giving this a shot, and this is how I intend to promote," they're usually pretty cool with it. But just every now and then, you'll come across that. In terms of the recurring, I think a lot of people buy into the dream. Cool, I'll sell something once, I'll make a ton of cash out of it, like forever. And yes, there are instances where I've sold something. I've got people that are still sort of underneath me, so to speak, of things that I've sold back in 2017, which is cool. That means, for 5 years or whatever it is, nearly 6 now, my goodness. I have received passive income, which is kind of cool, right? These people are the outliers, though, and so the problem is normally with a lot of these things, and if you want an example of this, think about any like software, for example, that you use yourself or memberships or whatever, and think about how many of those that you've sort of let slip or you've decided not to use anymore, and think about how long you stayed with that particular piece of software. And a lot of the time, there's going to be exceptions, of course, but a lot of the time it's 3 to 4 months, right? And so, as I was sort of alluding to before, unless you've got the ability to either borrow an audience or push a lot of traffic to a particular offer, then I prefer high ticket. And the reason for that is because you don't have to fight that natural attrition rate, which does happen. And that's where a lot of people kind of get a bit confused about this. And also, just quite simply, if you're selling something, you're receiving $1,000 per sale, then in theory, if I'm to make $10,000 per month, I only need to find 10 customers. Now, again, I don't want to make this sound like it's easy. It's not. I'm not saying it's super easy to do. But once you learn a certain set of skills, it doesn't really matter what you're promoting, high or low ticket. It's still the same principles that are going to help deliver those buying triggers to people and all that type of stuff as well. So that's kind of how I would review those things anyway. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. So okay. You said the magic word, traffic, because it's simple to become an affiliate for a product or for a series of products. You just sign up, and in a matter of 1 day, 2 days, you're an affiliate. So you already have your affiliate link. You can start sharing that link. But the big problem here is, where do you find the people you should sell to? How do you find this attention, this visibility? How do you do it?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So one of the ways that a lot of the time, if people were to go and find information like affiliate marketing related courses, a lot of the time it sort of gets sold like it's this big easy thing, and all you need to do is like get a funnel, which is a fancy way of saying a website that sells stuff, an email follow-up system, they call that an autoresponder, and basically you glue all that together, and then hopefully there's going to be traffic out there, right? And so there are many ways to do the same thing to achieve the same goal. You can literally go onto any social media platform, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, Snapchat, etc., Pinterest, creating blogs, whatever, right? And so it in effect is the same stuff. You're just finding traffic from around the world, basically, of your target demographic. I would encourage everyone to start really simply and start with one platform to start with. If you go on to, say, for example, Facebook, that's where I do the bulk of my business. It's where I've had the most success. I find it very easy to go and find people. I have a Facebook group, and I basically get folks into my Facebook group. I have a pretty unique system for selling stuff in there, and that's how I do things. A lot of other people have jumped onto that as well. It works exceptionally well. There's been many millions of dollars made through just Facebook alone, through Facebook groups and just their profile, things like that. But if you're not into Facebook, that's completely fine. You can do the same thing on Twitter. You can do the same thing on Instagram. It really doesn't matter. It's still similar principles. It really is just about building that audience. And I guess in order to sell something that is higher ticket in nature, you need to have, a certain depth within your audience as well, certain depth of relationship. And that can happen through content, it can happen through intimate sort of settings, through Zoom, things like that. Really depends on how that works, or just people reading screeds of your stuff and then deciding they're going to make a buying decision as well. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense.
So you prefer to go one-on-one, like when you say just pick a platform, pick a social media, and then find the people you want to talk to. I just put a thing there, maybe it's wrong, but let's assume that I get into a Facebook group. Should I start a conversation with individuals, like with specific people, and tell them that I have a product they may like, or how do you address them?
So the way that my process works, and this is kind of what I teach my students and what I encourage folks, is if you have your own Facebook group, and it doesn't matter if it's brand new, you don't need a large audience, by the way. Like I've had students that have come through that have less than 40 people that are making high ticket sales. You don't need a huge audience for this stuff to work. Like I say, it's really the depth of relationship that you have with people. So the beauty of things like Facebook, it does have its negatives, of course, but the good side of it is that you can have a one-to-one approach, as in I can message people. I can also have a one-to-many approach. So that means that when I put out pieces of content, it can potentially get seen by more and more and more people. So therefore, I'm starting to use my marketing to attract folks into my world. I guess the question which I'll pose to the audience is, would you make a purchasing decision for something that's $3,000 to $5,000 plus if you hadn't had a conversation with someone? And if that's the case, and you would, then that's fine, and then you can certainly get away with doing that. I know I've closed many offers through nothing more than a Google Doc or a sales page, right, for example. But having said that, the people would have seen significant amounts of my content in order to be indoctrinated into my world and then to make that purchasing decision. And so my take on it is it's very easy just to have a quick conversation and build that relationship and see whether or not you can actually help those people out. It might be the case that your particular opportunity or whatever it is that you have might not be the right thing for folks as well. And so if you're able to say that to people, there might be something else that you can help them with as well. It builds a sense of trust within your audience, which that's going to be how you're going to build a long-term business, is being able to build that depth of relationship and that trust with your audience by helping them understand.
Because at the end, it's always a matter of trust, right? You can't join a group and you start talking with a stranger and then pitch your product. It doesn't work like this. People need to trust you and need to know you. So it makes sense when you say, if I have a group that is my group and people join my group knowing that I'm the founder and they join it because they know me. In that case, I can start a conversation with them and we are already on the right level to talk about the purchase or talking about an investment. In that case, it makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. If you're, and this is why I love Facebook groups, is because it's your own little corner of the world. You can, like I'm pretty laid back in my group. I cuss sometimes. I go live. I do things that I probably wouldn't do from my profile because I feel a little bit safer, even though effectively my Facebook group is a larger audience. I feel like my little corner of the globe. So I'm a little bit more relaxed in there than I would be perhaps on my profile, for example, which is why I like it. And you can have folks in there that you deliver value over time and document what you're learning as you go through and help folks out. And you'd be surprised quite often. People that have been in your audience for quite some time, it might take them sometimes a very long time for them to go, okay, you know what, I want to check this person out and see how they can help me out as well. So it doesn't always happen rapidly. Sometimes it takes a little while to get folks pushing through that process in order to get them to be able to invest in something, for example.
Yeah, it's about having in mind the long game. So you know that if you work on something, you create trust with your following, you grow your community little by little, it will pay eventually. People will come back to you and they will be happy that you supported them for a long time. So to me, it makes totally sense. I always talk about creating your community, to support your community, help them if you can every single day with even a little piece of content, but help them every single day. And then you would see in the long game, you would see that it pays really well. That's what it is. So since you talked about this is a question that I ask to all the experts that I interview, because it's easy for someone who is working. You establish your community, you have your Facebook group, you've been working on your Facebook group for a while. So right now it's like a snowball effect. You already started and it's getting bigger and bigger. But let's assume that you're starting from zero. Okay, you don't have anything. You don't have anything anymore. You just have everything that you learned along the years. What would you do if you should start from zero?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So my journey took me 7.5 years to crack my first 1K day. And so it's an interesting thing, because I often say, like, it actually only took me 7 days, but it was 7 days after 7.5 years of struggling, right? And so then when I got super focused on the right things, then life became very simple. So I think that the biggest thing I would suggest is learn the fundamentals. And what I mean by that is learn how to sell. And even because a lot of people go, I hate selling, I'm never going to sell anything. Well, sales is absolutely everywhere in your entire life. I'm sorry, but it is absolutely everywhere. If you have attracted a partner into your life, there's a sales process. If you've bought anything through a special deal, there is a sales process there. If you're trying to encourage your kids to go to bed early, there's a sales process that happens there. Like, you name it, there is a sales process. Job interviews, you don't really rock up to your job interview wearing your worst suit and smelling like 3 days old, something out of the fridge. So you try and look your best. That's the sales process. So learn sales, because not only will it make you a better marketer, but you can also start to spot certain things that are happening around you, and you can sort of see when you're part of someone else's sales process as well. And that will feed you for life if you understand the principles behind selling. And furthermore, with sales, if you learn that is going to tie into how you craft your offer, how you display your opportunity to people. It's going to dictate how your copywriting goes, because obviously if people are going to purchase something, they probably need to read a few things first. So therefore, if you're able to write what we call copywriting, and sorry, I'm not sure if folks understand that or not. So basically, if you're able to write content in a very specific way, which sort of, I guess, taps into people's frustrations and what they would like, and sort of helps to push them along the pathway a little bit further towards their goals, etc., and helps them make a buying decision, things like that. So those are the things that they're never going to change, because they're based on human psychology. And so I would spend probably a disproportionate amount of time learning that stuff, even though it's probably, it's not the hacks, it's not the tips, it's not the super fun, techie stuff, but it's the stuff that won't really go out of style quickly. It might evolve over many years, but probably won't go out of style. So I learned that. If I was to start again, I probably wouldn't do anything overly different than what I'm doing now, which is I'm on Facebook. But like I said, it doesn't really matter the platform. I've started venturing over to Twitter recently as well. I've also picked up leads and sales from LinkedIn before. The principles really don't change that much, and quite simply, it's about, as you sort of alluded to before, it's about delivering value in advance, and realistically, the business in general, and this is affiliate marketing, but it really transcends affiliate marketing. And goes on to coaching, goes on to any other products, which is quite simply three things: build an audience, add value to that audience, and make them offers. Keep inviting them to be part of your opportunity. And I think if you're able to deliver that and do those three things, then that's kind of how you build a business. And before anyone sort of like goes, oh, I don't have any value. Yes, you do. Everyone has value. Like if you picked up one tiny thing, for those of you that are brand new, you've never heard of affiliate marketing before, if you picked up one thing from this interview and you're like, okay, now I know some stuff. Well, there's someone else out there that doesn't know that, right? So now you have some sort of value to give them. Plus, people like going on a journey, right? And if you document what you're doing, you're like, cool, well, today I learned what high-ticket affiliate marketing is. Sweet. Okay, well, this is where I'm going. Like, let's go on an adventure together. Let's see if we can make this thing work. It's pretty cool. And so people like that. They like getting unraveled into people's stories as well, which is kind of cool. So very, very long-winded answer, but quite simply, I would focus on the fundamentals. I would build an audience. I would discard, I don't know, this sounds very counterintuitive. Like I say, I've won awards for clocking $1 million through different funnels and things like that. But you don't need a funnel to get started. Please don't smite me down, Russell Brunson. But you don't, I would get rid of all the techie stuff. Like, it's just going to confuse you to start with. I would literally just find something I believe in. I would learn to create an offer. And what I mean by that is basically how are you presenting that to your audience? And sort of how can you, I guess, raise the perceived value of that offer, of that opportunity, and then just go and start communicating with people and basically keep it really, really basic. And then once you start to get some success, once you get proof of concept in your own mind by potentially making a sale or getting a few leads, then I would start to look at reinvesting that into building out layers in your business, building out funnels, building out your email sequences, trying to remove yourself from the acquisition process a little bit. And that's how I build it, just piece by piece, layer by layer, but focusing very much on the fundamentals because they don't really change. So very long-winded answer, sorry.
That was perfect. It's basically about keep it simple at the beginning, and simplicity is the way to start. You just need to grow your community, grow your following, help them, support them, and then ask them to take action, because you can't pretend that people will buy from you without asking them to do that. So once in a while, you have to get into the habit of asking for them to buy something or to purchase or to take action with something that you have. That's even a habit that you have to embrace, because it's sometimes at the beginning it's really uncomfortable to
Yes.
ask for someone to
Yeah.
buy your product. So the more you get into the habit, the more normal it will be for you, the more natural it will be for you at the end.
Yeah, 100%. And going back to my comment before, sales is not a comfortable thing for a lot of people, and I get why a lot of folks are kind of like, it was 70 years to succeed. Yeah, no, you don't have to. You can. I've had people. I've got one student at the moment who's made 25, 30 odd sales in less than a month, right? Like from starting, it doesn't have to take as long as I did. Please don't think that's the case. Don't have to wait 7 years and then all of a sudden you'll make something work. And sorry, I lost my train of thought. What was the question there?
No question. I think it was
Yeah.
pretty clear for everyone. I'm taking a look at the comments if there is any question, apart from the funny comment from Eric. Wait 7 years to succeed. That's amazing. Let's see. Let me take a really quick look to the comments. Learn to close too is different than selling when asking a prospect even interested in your offer. Some people get nervous. Absolutely. I think that it's spot on what you said. It's about like learn how to sell, because selling is everywhere. Marketing is everywhere. Even if you don't want to learn marketing, you can look around and marketing is everywhere. Selling is everywhere, not just in business, it's in everything. So it's absolutely a great suggestion that you gave there. And absolutely start from simple things. Simple things are always the best ones to start with. Find your audience. So start creating content, because content is the hook that attract your audience. Keep helping them, be consistent, and then ask them to take action. That was spot on, Jamie. Thanks so much for that. Anything else you want to add to anything, like without any questions from my side?
Yeah. So you touched on something then, and I've sort of already was saying that as well. But there's something I try to adopt into my business, which is there's a philosophical principle. It's called Occam's razor, which is more simply put, the simplest options are more often the best. And so one thing, it's very easy to overwhelm yourself with this stuff. Like there's so much information, there's so many ways to do things, and like I think half the battle is really just focusing on one pathway and just going just as focused as you possibly can on that, and remove all those distractions. Remove the hey, this new traffic source is the best thing ever. From my experience, there's no one traffic source which is quote unquote the best. I've found that they all do the same thing. It's there's like people are saying Facebook's dead. I'm like, well, there's 1 point something billion people on the platform. I don't really think it's dead. If it's not necessarily a better platform per se. It's the way that you communicate with your audience, and as you were saying as well, it really comes down to some basic principles. I personally think building a personal brand has been the most simplest thing to do. Like I say, 7.5 years of smashing my head on a brick wall trying to get all this complex stuff working, chatbots and different complex funnels and stuff like that. That I was trying for years. And realistically, when I really just got super simple, super focused, and I just went, okay, how can I attract people into my world? How can I deliver value in advance? How can I get folks into a sales call and deliver value there? And for the record, and anyone that's been through my quote unquote sales process, that's not. I don't believe in high pressure stuff. Like it's just a conversation, and so. And then what you'll find is when you build that equity within your audience, a lot of the time, even if you're not actively selling per se, folks will come back to you and wish to buy things anyway because you've helped them out with things. And that's sort of my methodology, and that's kind of what I focus on. And at some point, you might want to adjust things. Like I say, I've closed many sales through just a Google Doc. I've closed many sales through just Messenger, where I've never actually spoken to people before. Like whatever your thing is that you're comfortable with, or you feel that you can do, focus on that, and then just don't get distracted by all the stuff that's going to be around you, and then focus on keeping things simple and then adding layers to your business as you go.
Love it. Well, Jamie, thank you so much for being here with us. If anyone wants to know a little more about you or buy one of your courses or get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Um, reach out to yourself, and we can chat. But yeah, if you'd like to find me, feel free to head over to my group. I've got pretty cool. Well, I think it's cool anyway, and it's ultimateaffiliategroup.com. Otherwise, check out jamiegardner.com, and you can keep in touch, and love to hear from folks as well.
Nice. I'm going to put the link anyway in the description wherever we're streaming. I'm going to put all the links, so if anyone wants to get in touch with you, they know where to find you. Well, thank you so much for this interview. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are coming back in one of the future episodes here in the Escape 95 Club. Maybe we can address another aspect of affiliate marketing or talk about other things, because you're not an expert just on affiliate marketing, but you know a lot of other stuff that you can share here for the audience. And I hope that people are happy with all the value that we dropped here. Remember that we go live every week. I interview experts. I do, as you said, Jamie, I drop value as much as I can here. I go live at least once per week. So join the club, join the Escape 95 Club. And again, Jamie, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. And yeah, thanks so much, everyone. Really appreciate you guys tuning in as well.
Well, guys, here we go. Thank you so much for being here, watching. I'm going to see you in the next episode here in the Escape 95